Hey guys, it's Brother Paul here again. Got another dream to share with you, and I hope it's well received. Um, I had this dream on the July 24th, and I woke up at about 10:19 in the morning. And it's another one of those dreams where I was at my parents' house, which represents my father's house. And I'm just going to go right into this one. So I was at my father's house and I saw people walking into a cemetery beside where I grew up. So for those that don't know that, I actually grew up beside a cemetery. So in my childhood, it was not a big deal to see anybody going and coming from a cemetery. So in my dream, at my parents' house, I saw people walking into the cemetery. And while I was witnessing this, I wandered into the cemetery to see what was going on and what they were doing there. So a man walked up and he asked if I needed anything, and I asked him, "Where's everybody going to?" Because I saw them going in, but I didn't know where they were going. They were like disappearing. So he moved a tombstone. So remember the old style tombstones that it was like a body over the grass? Well, he opened it like a door, and let me follow here. He moved the tombstone cover just like a trapdoor and revealed a slide going downwards. And we went down, and he went down first, and he motioned me to come down. So I followed him down. And I wanted to see what the commotion was, because as I was coming down this slide, I saw people everywhere. So, hang on, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I slid down to immediately seeing what seemed like a packed university campus. I asked the guy again, "What's going on here?" And he replied, "This is where we learn more about the world." And I knew what he meant was, if you follow the world, it leads to death. So then we were in another, the whole thing shifted and I was in another area. So we were suddenly in a vacation spot that reminded me of the Caribbean. For me, I had been to Barbados 2-3 times when I was younger, so it had the same scenery, same everything. And while we were there, everybody was consuming things, whether it was gifts, booze, whatever they were doing, anything they could do to have fun. And I saw them hiding things in the wall. Like, I had seen people going everywhere in the tourist areas, and then all of a sudden we were in like, I guess it was like a hotel, but people were moving parts of the drywall and they were hiding things in it. So I asked, "What are you doing?" And this woman said, "I hide things under the drywall here every time I come here." And this represented, I heard this in my spirit, this was the hidden sins hiding in the walls that we hide in our mind or our body. So let me repeat that. The woman hiding things in the wall, I heard in my spirit, this represents the hidden sins that we hide in the walls, or the ones that we hide in our mind or our body. So it was the next day, and a lot of people were gone on a flight home. And I asked this older lady, she was a black woman, and she was the maid of this hotel. And I said, she was cleaning the main room, and I said, "Where had everybody gone?" And I also noticed that everybody's luggage was left behind. And I asked her, like, when did they leave? She told me around 8 a.m. and everyone else was left behind. So she didn't clarify who was gone and who were left behind, but we know what it was. The ones that were the believers were gone, probably the rapture, and everyone else was left behind. So I had to pray on this, to ask God, like, what does all this mean? So the Holy Spirit revealed 3 words for me to look up. First one was cemetery, and it meant symbolic of being spiritually dead, and it was attached to Matthew 8:28. And when he was come to the other side of the country of the George senses, they met him two possessed with devils, come out of the tombs, exceeding fierce, so that no man might pass by that way. The second word was walls, symbolic of a broken wall is not having self-control. And this was attached to Proverbs 25:28. Sorry, there's mosquitoes everywhere here. Sorry if I'm moving around a lot. Proverbs 25:28, he that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. And number 3, just gotta make sure I have this all here. Number 3 was luggage. And luggage is symbolic of travel, of carrying around things of the past. So it was in Matthew 11:28, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. So I forgot to say at the beginning of this stream that following the last stream I had there about people that were dealing with their sins and dealing with their free will, this was an answer to a prayer I had asked God. I said, what's happening in the world right now, and why are so many people not paying attention to the end of times? Like, us believers, and especially those who have read the Bible, we know exactly what time it is. But this is all people that are following the world, and they're just lost. So anyway, I figured I'd share this with you, and maybe you know somebody that needs to hear this. So I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon, and take care.